Yes, a very good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, my friends from all over the world, whatever place it is you're tuned on to the Live Signatures Radio. Thank you so very much for doing the same. This is a daily show. If you're joining for the very first time, tuning for the very first time, it is a daily show. You'll always find an episode here on the subjects of purpose, productivity, and resilience. Right about now, we are in the middle of a long series. We've been doing a very long series. The subject matter of this series is raising spirit-led children. And we've gone in different facets of this, and today we're going to continue going deeper. In fact, of the recent past, we've been saying in this prose that you are not raising spirit-led children if you, and we've already discussed four of those. Today we're going to go into the fifth. How would you know you're not raising a spirit-led child? So number 5 is coming in starting today. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
All right, so let us do a recap here before we can go very far. I've already told you that we're on number 5. But number 1, we're saying that you're not raising a spirit-led child. Okay, you're not raising spirit-led children if you do not teach them to cherish their inner compass. That's number 1. Number 2, you're not raising spirit-led children if you do not teach them the importance of self-extraction. Number 3, you are not raising spirit-led children if you do not nurture and nourish their creative capacities. And number 4, which we ended yesterday, you are not raising a spirit-led child if you do not teach them the value of growth and personal development. And we talked about that at length, which ended yesterday. Today, I want us to look at another facet of raising a spirit-led human being. And I want to discuss it maybe in the next, in the next 5 or so episodes, we're going to cover this one. It's a big one, but it's straightforward. I'm sure you already know what it is. When I mention it, you'll just nod your head. So number 5, you are not raising spirit-led children if you do not teach them to be human. This is so obvious, but it is so easy to miss. Now, if you juxtapose this one with the traditional scarcity mentality way of parenting, it is that there's this prose where we are saying that there are few jobs out there, or there are few opportunities out there, and it's actually true. It is the reality on the ground, the way we've crafted our own world. We've crafted our own world in that position 1 can only be occupied by one person. Okay, no matter what you do, even if everyone passes, but position 1 is for one person. I remember Brian Tracy listening to one of his audiobooks, very inspirational. He was saying that if a horse that came in second lost by a nose, the first horse which came in first won by a nose, and it's paid 10 times much more than the second. it is not because that horse is 10 times faster. No, it is just a nose, margins. And yet that's how we've crafted our lives. We want, people who are getting the A are the top-notch people. Those ones who are getting the A minus start looking down on themselves. What do the people who got the B minus do? They will lower their thinking than they feel. So we have a scarcity mentality kind of a thing, where we, what's the law of the jungle? The law of the jungle states that God for us all. I've forgotten how it goes, but it ends with the devil. The devil takes the hindmost. What's the law of the jungle? It's like everyone for himself, God for us all, and the devil take the hindmost. And so it's a scarcity kind of a mentality where we are, like we talked about in the previous episodes, we are competing. And you know what that causes? It causes people not to look at other human beings as collaborators, helpers, brothers and sisters. We look at other human beings as impediments to our success. That's where there are backbitings, there are murders, there are, taking other people's jobs and so on and so forth, lying. You're going and reporting your colleague to your boss, stoking the fires. Why? Because you see the person as an impediment for you. You're not being humane. Sometimes I cannot blame you. It is because of the way society has been structured from a scarcity mentality point of view. So people are not humane. But spirit, recognizing, spirit is about abundance. Spirit recognizing that there is everything to share in this particular world, releases us to cherish each and every one of our fellow human beings, each other. I don't look at you as you're my competition. I look at you as a different human being. You are so unique, you're so gifted, you're so good at what you do. If you're so good at what you do, I've got to be also good at what I do. I don't necessarily have to compete with you. I don't have to feel bad when you succeed. I can only feel bad when you succeed because I have a scarcity mentality, or I am even lazy because your success now speaks to my laziness. It tells me you are lazy. It doesn't want, it eliminates my excuses of laziness. Are you getting what I'm saying? I'm saying that if we teach children about abundance, we will teach them also about being humane. And being humane means sharing. It means recognizing other people. It means helping other people. It means the race to the bottom. There's something I was taught earlier on in church called the race to the bottom. Because the world, Jesus Christ said, the world wants to lord over, but not so with you. You should be the greatest among you, should be your servants. And that's how spirit operates. It's a service spirit. Humanity is supposed to serve. We are not the animal kingdom where we eat one another. No, we serve one another. We raise one another up. We help each other. We lift one another up. We live in a world that is increasingly competitive. It's transactional. It's petty. It's selfish. It's quote unquote more liberal. And every time you hear the word liberal, just replace it with the word selfish. Come to think of it, by the way, I have not come to see any cause, major cause, that a liberal person, a quote unquote liberal person, is fighting for. That is not selfish. You will be hard pressed to find a liberal person fighting a cause that helps someone else, of which they are not going to benefit. So our selfishness is causing us to redefine the norms and the standards of humanity itself. And even we by the way, we are even going way ahead and putting this pursuit of ours, these competitions, these standards, we are putting them in our own constitutions. We legalize this selfishness. We're not being humane. We want all our selfishness to be protected by the constitution of the day, by the rule of law. So whatever it is that is written in the law, it is lawful, yes, but it is immoral at the same time. It is selfish at the same time. People seldom think about others. People increasingly are thinking only about themselves. There will be cries about quote-unquote minorities. The minorities are the ones who are selfish. But they want their selfishness to be so pronounced that it has got to be an emergency for everybody else. That's how the world has become today. And every time there is selfishness, there is no spirit there. I tell you, there is no humanity there. No one is humane when they are selfish. There will be cries of these minorities and so on. Every time, in some extreme cases, whenever you hear cries about minorities, the spirit behind that cry is always selfish. It is always shallow. It is always self-centered. It always wants its own comfort. But you see, life is about balance. The spirit is balanced. The spirit, as we've already shared, it wants to cherish your full self, but not from the point of view of what is in it for you. At the end of the day, the highest form of existence of a spiritual person is impact that they leave behind. That is it. It is from the point of view of how beneficial you can be to society. I have learned that the humane in this day and in this age, is no longer a thing. To be humane is no longer a thing of default. It has got to be trained. I tell you, when we are raising children to be humane, we have to be intentional about this. Even ourselves, even our very own selves, we've got to be humane about this. There is selflessness in the spirit. In being humane, you're being selfless. It's a giving heart that is in all of us, championed by our spirits, just by waiting to be tapped into it. It's already, you see, the spirit, like I said, in the initial episodes, it's already available. We are not born on a blank slate. We come with spirit inside of us, and there is an element of selflessness inside of us that is waiting to be unleashed. But if it is not trained, if it is not nurtured, guess what is going to take over? The common selfishness is going to take over. Our selflessness is perhaps one of the most starved parts of our spirits at the altar of our quest of making it in life, at the altar of our selfishness, at the altar of our own comforts. And on the other hand, selfishness is so prevalent that it is becoming the culture of its own. It's becoming so normal, so ordinary, so okay, so accepted. And I want my children to truly care for other people. So in so doing, we've got to learn to teach them the idea of being humane. And tomorrow we're going to start dissecting this idea and going deeper into it. But learn this: if we're not going to be intentional about selflessness, about being humane, we've already lost the game, because the other one is prevalent. Bye-bye and stay tuned.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.